I have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Death card, the Seven of Swords, King of Pentacles, the Magician, Ten of Pentacles. There's a lot of other cards I haven't turned over yet. That is the start of the Aquarius energy, and it is incredibly intense. I'm looking at a situation where opportunities in the past were deaded, ended, blocked, ruined, destroyed. But you have a lot more opportunities around you. They are very small, but there are a lot of them. But there seems to be some deceit, some deception, some lies, some thievery here. There's the King of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Ten of Pentacles. So a beautiful movement in the right direction. But we're going to have to look at the cards that haven't been turned over yet to understand exactly what on earth is going on here. The first thing I am witnessing is a massive transformation in someone's stoicism. So the idea of being stoic, spiritual, honourable, integrity, moral. Someone has had to shift from a really empty energy, quiet. I don't say very much. I don't do very much. I don't make a very big deal about it. I'm spiritual, but I'm not really doing anything with it. Yeah, I believe in stuff, but I don't really know what I believe in. I don't really talk about it. I don't really speak on it, preach about it, go to church, go to the mosque, go to the temple. I'm not actualizing this life. I'm just kind of there floating around. Someone's just floating around, and someone could have been seen as a real nuisance in people's lives. Oh, this person's just here again, floating around in the way. This person's here again, just floating around in the way. This energy that the Aquarius is exuding in the past is you're always just pulling up with this, I don't know what I'm doing in life energy. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? Yeah? I don't know what I'm doing. What should I do? I don't know where I'm going. Where should I go? Always seeking answers. Everyone's seeking answers. So every time you go to someone else to seek an answer because you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, you end up falling on your face because nobody else knows where you're going and what you're doing. If you don't, you're meant to be in charge here. That's why the King of Pentacles is out. With the Seven of Swords here as well, we've got the High Priestess and the World. You haven't been trusting yourself. There's been lies here around you. You give what you receive is the energy I'm getting. Because you tell yourself you don't know what you're doing, you don't know where you're going, and you don't ground yourself into a belief system, you make others see that in you and they treat you in that energy. So you think other people are lying to you, deceiving you, being dishonest to you, tearing you down, ruining your life. You could have a lot of blame and resentment towards other people. You could outrightly blame at least one person, two people potentially, blame them deeply for what's happened to you in your life. You're lying to yourself if you're blaming anyone else for stuff that's happened to you. Because you were in that situation. You put yourself there. You took that risk. You done that thing. You said that thing. You went that way. Ownership comes with you. And you're always outsourcing responsibility. You're always outsourcing morals and integrity. You're always outsourcing your responsibility. Yeah? This is interesting for an Aquarius energy because this is Aquarius shadow. This is Aquarius wounded. This is Aquarius who is normally the social rebellion energy, right? Real activist energy I get with Aquarius. There's real power and there's real charge when it comes to Aquarius vibration. But what I'm seeing is when an Aquarius is wounded, they don't know how to show up as not that strong rebellion activist energy, so they have to play down like they've been destroyed and beaten by another. They've got to put that person on a pedestal as the leader and the destroyer of their reality, because then it's easier to digest. But you're lying to yourself, or you've been lying to yourself in the past, to act like the problem has occurred outside of you and you're not responsible for your own reality. You're 100% responsible for your reality, right? And whatever's happened to you, I'm sorry, it could be really, really bad. I don't see the ins and outs of it. But you've got to take ownership of how it's made you feel, how it's made you behave, what limitations you've had on your life as a result of it, and you've got to find your way through it. It takes a long time to finally let go and release resentment and forgive and forget. Sometimes you can never forget. I don't even really believe in the forgetting, because I can't forget. I remember every little detail. So I'll make peace with it and I'll move on. Yeah? I'll make peace with how that made me feel and I'll move on. But not only that, I'll acknowledge my weaknesses, what I need to learn, and what's going to make me stronger from this situation. Because at the end of the day, you can't give someone this much power and control over you and then expect to be independent and in your power, because you're weakening yourself by choosing to blame other here. The devil card's out with a camel. Yeah, you are refusing to let your emotions out. You are refusing to be honest about what you've really been going through. You're sitting in King of Pentacles, but underneath the King of Pentacles is the devil card and the camel. The camel is someone holding on to a lot of water energy. You are full of water energy, and the devil, that's toxic emotions. Yeah? That's trauma, that's childhood abuse, that's narcissistic abuse or narcissistic parenting styles. That could be you being on the scale from super empath or super narcissist, or waving between the two. You've got issues, yeah? And those, we all exist on the spectrum. This is no judgment. This is just me cutting through the bullshit to give you the truth, right? So take it or leave it. If you don't resonate, click off. If you do, hit the like. Feel free to share your story in the comments or share more on your perspective. But the truth of the matter is, you've been burdened by this unnecessarily. And you're trying really hard to manifest, but the manifestations have not been working. Because we're going to look at exactly, there's something going on with 4 of your opportunities. We're going to go in on that and what you should be speaking on and doing. There's a lot to discuss. We're going to go specifically there. And okay. Nice. Really interesting. Destiny. Okay. In my head, I'm getting destiny swaps. There's been so much conversation over the last quarter, over the last 3 months about destiny swapping, and people will go out of their way to try and swap their destiny with you. They see your life, they see what you have, and they try to spin into your reality somehow and take your destiny. These are some unconscious psychological behaviors, some kind of programs that we have, classical conditioning, the patterns and programs we pick up, the psyop we've obtained, and it's running our lives. So these are a lot of unconscious behaviors, and they're not always malicious and malice like you think, but there is this devil energy here with toxic emotions and behaviors where there's a tendency to overgive or overtake in a situation. Overgive to the point where you feel taken for granted. Overgive to the point where you feel empty. You're trying to give from a place of lack. You don't have anything to give. You should be working on your devil energy, camel energy, your toxic emotions that are rooted deep inside of you, potentially from childhood or past trauma. You're not working through your past trauma, but you're pulling up to every single other person presenting with this trauma, and you're maybe not trauma dumping, but your vibration, your energy, your mood, your aura is giving that trauma. And that you're just you're walking around with a little bundle of trauma. And it's like, do you want to look at my trauma? Who wants to take a piece of my trauma? Do you know what I should do with this trauma? Anyone know what to do with trauma? Right? Well, go over to her 7D Conscious channel. We might as well plug it while we've got a great way to go. Her 7D Conscious channel, pinned at the top of this page. We do have phase 1 of recovery coming out this week, and a lot more meditative kind of new ways to be mindful. So go and check that out. But separate to that, we're going to look at exactly what these opportunities are, and then why the Wheel of Fortune is out here with the gazelle talking about this beautiful ending of a cycle, yeah? So right now, you are trying to be the King of Pentacles, and I'm being told through the cards and this energy, you're not the King of Pentacles at this time, you're the Queen of Pentacles. This is a nice revelation, because you don't need to be king. Queen is enough at this time. Remember, these are just energies. This is not a masculine and feminine story, yeah? You're a Queen of Pentacles, you're stable, you're grounded, and you're humble about it. The obnoxious ego, arrogance that's coming with the King of Pentacles is one of the biggest obstacles you are having in your life at this time, because the materialism that you're trying to present on the surface is not aligned to your core. You are struggling to move forward in the King of Pentacles energy, but if you shift to Queen of Pentacles, go and Google that. Go and look into the Queen of Pentacles more and understand it, yeah? Shift to a lighter vibration of being grateful and humble about what you do have, and not claiming to have no more, not trying to be the richest, not trying to look the best, not trying to outdo anyone or be overly clouty, not trying to deceive yourself or blame others. If you've lost out on money, you're blaming someone else for it. If things have gone bad in your reality, you're blaming someone else for it. There's always blame here, and it's misplaced. You need to take responsibility. Morals and integrity out here with the Hierophant too. So you've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Hierophant, and the Hangman. You've been incredibly stuck, and you will be until you rein your energy in and channel your chi in a positive direction. You have to be humble now. You need to learn to let go of your ego and pride. You need to sit in your emotions and deal with whatever the fuck has happened to you and what you've been through. You need to take charge of your reality. You need to stop fighting with everybody else and start fighting with your feelings internally. Start juggling your mental health and emotions, your mind, body and soul. Start asking yourself questions about why you're here. And whoever this person is that's closest to you in life, start setting healthy boundaries with them and start building healthy relationships with them and start sharing your true emotions with them. Even this person closest to you, you're an ego and pride with. And both of you are competing financially. So whoever you live with or whoever you're around all the time, you're both competing to make more money than the other person or be richer than the other person. It feels very much about money and materialism. This is all really quite underhanded as well. Everything I'm discussing, this is kind of like a consciousness shift for you, because most of you, I think you wouldn't agree with this reading. I think you would be like, this is not for me, it don't make no sense. But this, to me, is giving subconscious energy, Freudian philosophy, the eye underneath the iceberg, the depths of your subconscious. This is what this is. There's an internal battle that you are not having with yourself, that you should be having, because that's what spiritual awakening is. You internally fight with senses of self and who you are and what you're saying and how you're showing up externally versus how you feel internally. And then you get some clarity on you, and then you evolve, and then you work on your chakras, and then you align your sacral chakra and you feel more enlightened, and you start working on all of your chakras and you become more one with self. Then you have more confidence, purpose, life meaning. You feel more awakened. You develop self-love, self-care. Everything in your life gets better. Your mental health improves. Your emotional well-being improves. Your relationships with others improve. You're skipping all the internal steps. You've switched off completely internally, disregarding who you are, pulled away from faith or religion. I don't see any real God emphasis here, but I see that you are a spiritual being or driven by spirit in some way, but you're not doing anything spiritual or religious to help you ground that side of yourself. You're just out here chasing money that seems to be nowhere in sight, because you're manifesting from a lack vibration and blaming other people. And you're holding on to every penny that you do have, constantly scared that you're going to lose it all, blocking people out of your life, not speaking to them, trying to be really patient to get your independence and your money back up. But you're looking at other people and you feel hard done by, you feel heartbroken, you feel like they're more victorious than you feel like everyone's having a brand new beginnings and beautiful things are happening for them in life, and you feel stuck, like you can't make a choice and that you need a lot more money to kind of get to where you're going. But what you need to do right now is work on your spiritual self and deal with your emotions and commit to self-love and self-care and start getting some healthier routines and work on mindfulness and well-being. Maybe get some therapy, some counselling. Talking therapy is really good. Psychodynamic therapy is really good. Any therapy where the main thing you do is you just talk. Yeah? You just talk about how you're feeling and what you're going through. You need to learn to open up to someone. This person that's closest to you should be your ally that you open up to. But both of you seem to have very similar personality traits, right? Could be a lover or family or friend that's really close to you and you've kind of grown up together, or you're just so close that you both compete with each other about being successful or about making the next best move. But none of you are really dealing with your internal. And there's this obnoxious kind of stuck up energy where I'm going to do better than you, or guess what I've done. It's competitive. Toxic competitivity is not good. Yeah? If this resonated, do hit the like. Feel free to share what you're going to do next in the comments. And I'll be back soon with more.